Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'd like to share with you the last of the Morphe palettes that I want to share with you. So this one is the Morphe Dare to Create, which is the 39A. It's the larger out of the three palettes within their Christmas range. I love the packaging. I think it's really sleek. I've said that all across the board with the items so far that I've shared with you. Of course, you can see that the box is a lot larger than what I've already shared. On the back, it just gives you a little bit of information about the Dare to Create, and the ingredients are at the bottom there. So I picked mine up from the UK Morphe website, which is uk.morphe.com. It was £32. However, it is Black Friday, so there is 25% off, and that is across the board on the website. Alternatively, if you're not viewing this on Black Friday, then you can use one of the affiliate codes and still get your 10% off. I believe that's 10% for you. So there is a discount always to be had on Morphe, and I really like that. So they really appreciate their customers on the Morphe website. So yeah, that's great. Now I want to also get into the palette itself. So it is a larger palette. It's also a card palette, which is thinner and slimmer to the plastic one that I shared with you a couple of days ago. That was the 3502. So that one still had the plastic packaging. This one has got the card packaging, and again you've got that gorgeous gold streak across the front there. On the back, it gives you a little bit of information about the net weight, and you are getting 75.7 grams of product, or 2.67 ounces. So yeah, really good amount of product. Now I know that that's £32, but like I say, there's always a discount to be had on Morphe. I really like that, and £32 is good for the amount of product that you're getting here. Now on the inside, I'll just share with you this. You are again getting one of those plastic sheets with the names on, which again I really like. It would have been nicer if they can actually put it on the palette, but you know, I'm not going to complain, or you know, I don't want to complain, because at least we've got that plastic sheet there. So on the inside, on the top of the lid, it says "Be your own muse, we dare you," which is on the lid. And again, that gold and black is followed through on the inside. And then these are all of the shades that you're getting. So you're getting 39 shades in here. Now, what I really like about this palette is, and when I first looked at this, I thought, wow, because I did see it on some videos on YouTube, and I thought, why are there larger pans in the middle? But of course, that's your transitional shades, and of course that is what you use the most of, so it's only right that they should be large, whereas perhaps the you know, shimmer shades and the shades that you don't necessarily need so much of are smaller, and I really like that idea. I've not seen it anywhere else on another palette, so yeah, really love that. Now what I've done is I haven't swatched all 39, because it is a case of that we're not going, you know, we don't really go by swatches anymore, and I'm going to do a look with you for you today. That's why I've got no makeup on my eyes. So I've done 2 swatches from each of the pans to share with you. I'm just going to put the name over the top so I can tell you what the shades are. So I have gone for a shimmer and a matte from each row. So this one is called Spark, so you can get an idea of, you know, how they swatch and what the colours look like. And this was just one small swirl and one swatch, and I got that pigmentation. It's like a copper, but it's it's a very, red copper, very red tone copper. I really love it. I know copper is red anyway, but it seems more red, if you see what I'm trying to say. This one here is Create, and it's a beautiful magenta matte. Then we move on to the second row that I swatched from, and this shade is called Trendy, and it is a beautiful berry shade. Then we have Vivid, which is this matte shade, but it's like a red toned brown. Then I went for one shade from that middle row, and that is called, it's the lightest. I went for the lightest to share with you how pigmented the lightest shade was, and this one is called Bear. So that is the lightest shade, and you can see on my skin tone how deep that is, even though it is the lightest transitional shade. Then on the next row, I had to go for this one. I'm really, really liking these type of colours at the moment. And this one is called So Glam. And this one is called Pine. So you've got a shimmer there and a beautiful matte. Now then on the last row, I had to go for this one. And it's that turquoise in the corner called Taylor. And then I had to go for the black just to share with you how pigmented that black is, and that one is called Muse. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of a taster of all of those shades, but you can see that in this palette, and I'll just share with you again, what I really like also is that, for example, which row was it? This one. They've got the greens and they've got the blues. So what they've done is they've put a shimmer green, then they've put a matte green, then they've put a shimmer, and then they've got a matte, and so on. And I really, really like that. They all seem to work together. So you've got all the greens, where is it, over this corner, you've got all the blues there, you've got all the reds and berries at the top there, and then you've got the browns to that corner, and then of course you've got the transitional shades in the middle. So I really feel that this palette has been really well thought of. There's been a lot of thought gone into the fact of where to place the shades, and I really like that. So now I'm on to trying this beautiful palette out, and I just couldn't wait to use it. It's been very difficult to have to save all of these products, but I really want you to get my you know, first thoughts, first impressions on using all of these. Now, I think what I'm going to do is actually go into that Bear shade. So that's the one that I shared with you there. And, you know, I really want to see what that colour is like. Now, I've forgotten my mirror, and I've got no mirrors here, so I'm going to have to look into the viewfinder, but that's okay. It's not going to be a problem. So, as always, I'm going to take it into the crease and then take it above. And so far, it is blending really, really well. Now, I wanted to do the lightest colour because I thought that would be very, very interesting for you to see, you know, what that actually looks like. And if I have to, I've got a mirror right beside me, but it's a large one. But that is not too bad for a very, very light shade. So again, I'll just do that with the other. Really, really like that. I'll just put a little bit more on this side. So even for the lightest shade, you are getting, you know, quite a bit of payoff. It's not as deep, obviously, as a deeper one would be, but I just wanted to see what that payoff would be with a lighter shade. Because, you know, there are days where we don't necessarily want to or you know, can wear too much makeup, so we don't want it too heavy. So that is the shade Bear. Now I want to deepen it up a little bit, and I'm going to go in with the shade Dare Me, which is one of the middle shades. It's third row third shade along, I'll just share that with you. So this was the first shade that I shared with you, that one. I'm now going into this one and just deepen it up a little bit more, just to test out a few of these colours. So let me put a little bit of that on and see what that one does. So that's good. So that's deepened that up. So we'll put a little bit more on the other side. That's lovely. Okay, now I'm going to deepen it up even more. I'm going into the deeper shade now, which is that one there. So what is that one called? So it is called, let me just put it over the top, Evolve. So I'm going to get that more onto the tip of the brush and see how that works. Then I'm going to put it onto the outer third and then pop it into the actual crease and then take that up a little bit and out to give me a little bit of definition. A little bit more. Now these are very tightly packed in the pan. There's no kick up at all so far. So when I'm turning the palette round to actually share that with you, there's no fallout on my trousers. Well, I'm wearing leggings today actually, but there's no fallout on those at all. Sometimes when you get quite a dusty palette, you do get fallout. So if I share it with you, that fallout then goes on my legs, on whatever trousers I'm wearing. But that's not happening today. There's no fallout whatsoever. The colours, the three colours that I've popped on there, they're blending really, really nicely. So you can see the difference from that eye to that one. So now I want to just give the other side a little bit of definition. And I really like the idea that you've got all of these transitional shades. I mean, obviously you've got other, you know, transitional shades all over the palette as well. You know, you've got really deep, cool toned. You've got all sorts of colours in here. So I think, you know, if you're perhaps buying a gift for someone and you're not 100% sure, you know, what kind of makeup they've got, this is an all-round palette. Another thing is that if someone is just starting out with makeup, again, this would be a good palette because there's such a mix of shades in here, and you can see that they are blending really, really well. And usually I have to use a mirror, so for me to be able to do this without even, you know, having that close-up mirror, the product's got to be pretty good, and I'm really liking how that is working. A lot of the time, if I put, especially on this side, because the light hits me here so you can see it more. Now, if I put a few colours in this area, it tends to all bunch up here, but this one has blended out all, you know, it's seamless basically. The blending is seamless, it is amazing, and yeah, I really, so far, I'm absolutely loving this. You can tell, and this is why it's so important for me to do try-ons. I know that I don't edit the videos and, you know, it is all in real time, but that is why, because if I was to edit and if I was to quicken up anything, you wouldn't be able to see, you know, what I'm doing necessarily. And to be honest, that's what I like. I like to watch videos that are not too edited, and I really don't like videos either where there's a lot of background music. I just don't like it, and in fact there's a lot of videos that I've literally had to stop watching or turn the sound down, which is pointless because you can't hear the person, because that music is just so irritating. So I know I don't have any music, I know I don't edit, but that is what I particularly like. And I hope that you find, you know, this helpful. Every now and again I have to you know, say why I don't do certain things because, you know, of some of the comments that I receive. You know, I'm not going to please everybody, but I am, or was, I still do watch a few videos, but I don't try not to watch too many to then pass that on to my videos. I like everything that I do to be my own work and thought. But, you know, I'm just, that's, like I say, I used to watch a lot of videos, a lot, and I got a real feel for what I particularly like, and this is the type of video that I like. I like a longer video because I like actually to put my makeup on to that video, and that's what I like. So that is why I do the certain style of videos that I do. Not only that, I want you to see the absolute truth of what I'm doing. So for example, if these were not blending well, I'm not going to fast forward it, or I'm not going to edit it so I can go off camera and then fix it and then come back and say, look, this is what I've done. You can see I'm starting from A and I'm finishing at Z, and that is my video, and I really hope that you do find that helpful. So to get on with the look, and I just wanted to mention that I'm going to go back to now, which one was it? Was it Sunder I used? Yes, Sunder was the second shade I used, and I will list all of the shades that I used down below if I've missed any. I'm just going to run that Sunder, and that is the second shade that I used, if I didn't mention that. I'm just going to run that under the eye, and you can definitely see that. So that is really nice, and it's also blended out very nicely as well. That is, now, for example, if you aren't allowed for whatever reason, your workplace, your school, college, whatever kind of day-to-day activity that you do, this look would be perfect. It's not too much, but you know, it just looks very natural, doesn't it? I really like it. So far so good. Now what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of shimmer. Now I'm spoilt for choice here, and I want to keep away from red because I've done a few looks with red recently. I want to do something different. I'm looking at the green, and I think I'm going to go for that moss green. It's probably not going to match my jumper, but I can always change that. So I'm going to go for that because the look is so, you know, across the board, I can do whatever I like. So I've added those shades, neutral shades, and now I can go in with whatever, basically. So I've got that moss green, which was this shade here, and I'm going to just add that to the lid. That is gorgeous. Love that colour. It's looking stunning. Now, green is a colour that I am only now really getting into. Oh, that is gorgeous. It looks so... it's one of those colours that it looks green, but in certain lights, like that swatch there, it looks gold. And it's also very smooth. So I told you, I mentioned actually in my video where I was showing you the 3502, my concerns with the 350 palette that I had. But again, these are tightly packed. You know, there's no issues with it coming out of the pan. Now I've just looked at this. The only shimmer shade that I really would like would be an inner corner shimmer, and there's no champagne shade as such. So I'm going to go in with that green and just pop that there. So just fill in that inner part that I can't quite reach. And I think, now let me just see, I'm going to have a look at the colour. Now the green shade is called So Glam, and then there's one fourth across Artistic. I'm just going to swatch that, see what that's like. No, that's too deep as well. There's no real champagne shade in here, so you probably will have to use another, you know, highlight shade, but I hope that you can see that green there. It is just gorgeous. I'm really impressed so far with the palettes that I have tried. Really, really gorgeous, really stunning. What I'll do is, of course, as always, I will take a close-up picture and I will add that to Instagram for you. And I'll probably put a inner corner highlight on there as well. And I'll probably use something like, there's one pot that I have in particular from NYX, and it is, what is that? Is it Kitten? I think that's what it is. I'll just add a bit of that to give me an inner corner, but I mean, you know, we've all got that kind of shade anyway, so I'm not too worried. So I'll just show you the palette one more time. Absolutely beautiful. I've done quite a, it's my regular look that I always test out palettes with because that's what I like. I'm really actually impressed with the mattes. I love the shimmers, and yeah, really, really love that. So I hope that you found that helpful. I just can't wait to create more looks with this. And next time I'll make sure that I've got my mirror. But thank you so much for watching. Of course, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. I would also love you to, if you are brand new to my channel, please subscribe to watch further videos. I've got a few more videos of Morphe products that I want to share with you, and yeah, and of course I would always welcome all of any of your comments. What do you think about these products? Have you purchased this palette? What are you thinking of it? And what do you of course think of my eye look? But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.